that football can be unpredictable. It is not unlikely that you get to see some crazy celebrations. So here are the craziest celebrations in women's football history. Before we start, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our videos. And now, let's get started. In a football match between Australia and Brazil, an Australian player, Sam Kerr, scored a stunning goal, and after scoring, she celebrated it by doing acrobatic stunts while running, and the whole team rushed toward her. Norma Palafox is a player of GDL. During a match between GDL and AME, she scored a fantastic goal. She started running in excitement and other teammates were running toward her. Then she suddenly stopped and started showing some dance moves. Some teammates clapped while some of them laughed. Just after the starting of the match, a player of the French women's team scored a fantastic goal that was the earliest goal in an opening match of a Women's World Cup. She started running with her face toward the crowd, making heart signs with both of her hands. All of their teammates gathered around her and started dancing and celebrating the moment. In the match between the USA and Thailand, fans were pleased when USA women's soccer player Megan Rapinoe scored a fantastic goal. She started running in circles while laughing, then she laid down on the ground and started kicking with her right leg in the air. It made the whole team laugh. In the match between Brazil and the USA, when the US team player scored a header goal, she started running towards the corner of the ground and performed a slip while running and started again running. The whole USA team went crazy and celebrated with a bang, and the goalkeeper started jumping with joy. In the match between MTY and TIG, when a player on MTY scored a goal against TIG, the player showed some cool dance moves while the other team members gathered around her and started clapping. Two teammates hugged her and she made a pose with one of her teammates. In the match between USA and Mexico, USA fans saw a crazy celebration when Megan Rapinoe scored a fabulous goal against the Mexican women's soccer team. She raised both arms while running and moved them like a wave up and down. The other team members started running toward her. In a football match between the USA and Colombia, the US team scored a fantastic goal. After scoring, their player ran towards the corner of the ground and picked up a big mic and spoke something into it. It was Women's FIFA World Cup 2011. In the end, the whole team stood in one straight line and saluted. During a football match between Venezuela and Canada, when the player of Venezuela scored a goal against Team Canada, She made a heart sign while running. The camera was focused on her, and at the end she pointed her finger toward the camera. In a match between Venezuela and Brazil, a Venezuelan player scored a goal and celebrated in a unique way. The player and her team did a little dance with their arms and legs while the whole team was cheering. During a match between the US and Colombia, a USA team player scored a beautiful goal, kissed her band, and then raised her band and shouted with joy. The whole team raised both of their arms with joy. In the FIFA World Cup 2015, during the match between Australia and the US, USA player Rapinoe scored a stunner against the Australian women's team. She started running and then jumped while making some energetic moves. Another team player celebrated that moment by putting her hand on her head and showed a cool dance move. During the match between Australia and the USA, a player scored the final goal against the Australian women's team. She made a statue pose while her teammates hugged each other and clapped. In a match between the United States and Japan, the crowd got entertained when a player of the United States scored a goal against Japan. She walked a little while jumping on one foot with a lovely smile. The whole team started walking randomly and was enjoying the moment. A football match was played between Japan and Australia. Sam Kerr, an Australian women's player, tried to score a goal. In her first attempt, she didn't succeed, but in her second, she scored a goal, and to celebrate, she showed her acrobatic moves while running. During the match between England and the USA, the US women's soccer team player scored a goal. Facing the audience, she opened her arms and waved them left to right. Other teammates ran toward her to celebrate. During a football match between the USA and Costa Rica, the US team player scored a fantastic goal against Costa Rica, and to celebrate, she made a new pose and then started hugging her team players. A player scored a goal during the match between SEA and NJ. She celebrated it by dancing on the ground while other team members watched and enjoyed the moment. In a football match between the US and England, a US team player scored a goal, and then to celebrate it, she stopped to make a cool pose like she was smoking and look up to the sky. The crowd, her team, and the media all loved her cool pose.
Do you like funny, innovative, and random videos of just about anything? Then subscribe to Cozy, cause we got loads of videos just for that. Surely you won't regret it. The link is in the description.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to always be in the loop. We'll see you in the next one.